Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, along with Darren McCroy at the ABV Barrel Shop.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey guys.
Hey y'all.
Hey, so we're going to be talking about Blue Run today. They have a new High Rye straight bourbon whiskey that we're going to be talking about, distilled by Jim Rutledge. So we'll get to that after the break. For right now, Darren said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Darren?
So, I'm sure this has been a small talk at some point, but I haven't done it, and a lot of the other Gen 3s probably haven't heard it.
Okay.
There's two questions here. How do you use your blinker? Do you use your blinker all the time? And how do you feel about other people using their blinker?
Uh-huh.
And I know McNew has this spotless driving record, so I'm interested to hear what she has to say.
Right.
So I do use my blinker pretty regularly. It's rare that I don't use it. I actually do. But I am from the land of roundabouts, Indiana. We're a fan of those for some reason. So when people use them in the roundabouts, I assume they're fucking stupid. Because it just we already know you're going around the damn corner or exiting. There's no need to use them in a roundabout, guys. Stop it. But please use them on real turns. Please. Yeah.
I mean, I think I use my blinkers appropriately when I'm getting ready to turn. When people are around, I'm not a guy who's like getting ready to turn in my driveway. There's no one on my street, and I put the blinker on and turn
exactly.
in.
No reason
Those
for
are
that.
the people that drive me nuts.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are like, oh, I am turning into my driveway. There was no one else there. I was sitting out.
Here's what drives me nuts. I'm sitting on a 4-lane road, and I've got my left turn because I'm pulling out on this 4-lane road, and there's a guy where it'd be just far enough where I'd cut him off, and he's driving along, barreling along, and then at the last second, he puts the blinker on and turns right where I'm at. If he'd have had that blinker on, I would have known I could go without. Yeah. That's what angers me. The people that don't, and then have the nerve to put it on at the very last minute and then turn. That brings up the old man anger.
Yeah.
I get going about that.
So what about you're sitting at a stoplight?
Okay.
And you're in a designated turn lane.
Okay.
You can only turn in this lane. Do you turn on your blinker?
No, you don't need it there.
I do, just out of habit, because you turn it on before you get in the turn lane, and it just stays on until
I always turn off. I find that noise annoying in the car, so I might put it on to get in the lane and then turn it off.
Yep.
I don't like the noise.
Over the radio? I don't hear mine over the radio.
Oh yeah, I do.
I do.
Oh yeah.
It interrupts my Bourbon Daily listening.
Yeah. So no, I would also suggest McNew does leave the blinker on because she's notoriously a bad driver. So.
I'm not the greatest driver. That's the thing I will admit about myself. It's like that's not high on my skill level of things I'm capable of.
Right.
Right.
Another thing that angers me is when you got the 2 left lanes, and that's okay. Say I'm on the one on the right. So I'm going to be turning into the far right lane into the thing. I hate when someone's next to me and they turn, and then they just think they can be in the far right lane. Like, what the hell
are you doing?
Yeah. When you're turning, it means you're going into 2 separate lanes. It's not like, it's just anarchy. Anybody can go whatever lane they want. No.
I don't think this is anybody. I think this is people my mom's age because she does this and it's terrifying. And I'm like, ma'am, you have a lane. Stay in it. And she does not get this concept. She's like, well, that's a turn lane too. Yeah, there's cars there. They're also turning. You can't just be in their side. That's way over.
It's like having two lanes in a road. You don't need to be in the other person's space.
Exactly. I don't know why they think turning is different than an actual road part. But.
I went to the grocery store the other day, and I saw this coming. A little old lady, small, 4'10", whatever, gets into a big, like, 1970s car. Now, I can see her in the car as I'm walking towards her, because I'm going to be walking behind her. I can see that she's literally, the back of the seat is higher than her. Now, she could look out her rearview mirror, but I also have a mother who's elderly, and they don't look backwards. They just go, and that's exactly what happened. I stopped because I thought, she's not going to look back. Sure enough, she doesn't. She just starts pulling out with that big boat of a car, and I don't know what happens where people don't think they have to look back anymore.
I mean, when you're 80, you have the right of way, I think, for everything. So you just watch out.
That's the law, yeah.
Did you ever have one of those big old boats that
looked
impossible to drive?
No,
I didn't know what time frame.
Never had that. I mean, my cars were like so starting at the beginning, a 66 Mustang, first car. Then I had a Ford EXP, which I kept at the Mustang. I wanted two cars because the Mustang was bad for long trips because they break down. Those old cars are cool, but they break down. So I had the Ford EXP, which is like a Ford Escort with two-door instead of like the four-door. It was just a two-seater, actually, is what it was. A little bit sportier. So I had a couple of those. Then I got into Jeeps. A Jeep Wrangler. I had a Jeep Cherokee, that type of stuff. And then ultimately went to a truck phase, a couple of trucks, and now Elantras. Now it's just Elantras. Yeah. So how about you?
I've only had two cars. I've had an old Jeep Wrangler and a Jeep Cherokee.
Jeep Cherokee, okay, yeah. Yeah, I used to love the Jeep Wrangler, but it's the new minivan. It's a soccer mom car for sure. Those? There's some people think they're still cool. I'm not one of those people anymore. Yeah. What about you, McNew? What are some of your cars?
So my first car that was mine was a 96 Dodge Avenger. When the Avengers look cool, remember that?
Yeah.
Because they brought them back and now they're not cool because they have the four doors. But I had one of the cool, like, sporty looking ones.
Sure.
With the sunroof. I was thrilled to have a sunroof. I thought it was hot shit.
Yeah, did you wreck it?
I did not wreck it, but it kind of fell apart. Like
you had 16 years in a row where you had a car accident, right?
Once a year.
For 16 years.
16 years. Yeah. I stopped. Last year was good.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so last year was good.
One for 2 years.
Knock on wood, but this year's also good.
Yeah.
Of these car accidents, how many of them were like big accidents?
No,
like on the roadway, not in a parking lot?
So I've never actually totaled a car. It's always been like, oh, the bumper fell off, or I sideswiped you. I rear-ended somebody in a McDonald's drive-thru once. But they've been minor accidents. Yeah. And I mean, I've slid off the road in snow, but nothing really happened. You just got to get somebody to get you out of the field. It's fine.
Yeah. What I can say about McNew is McNew always, well presented, has it together, fashionable, a good looking woman, but then you see her cars and they're always a wreck. The first time I ever saw McNew with a car, she had a bumper taped on. I'm not kidding you. It was taped on. And she's like, oh, the tape's coming loose. Does anybody have any electrical tape?
Oh my God. So that car, that poor Malibu, Chris drives it to work now because his job is dirty and he does not need a nice car to drive to work. So that's his work car. Yeah. But I got hit because like the road I was crossing like had this railroad track that was kind of up and then the road, but you couldn't tell. It was dark. You couldn't tell where everything was. It was a weird intersection. Just got T-boned and it hit the back bumper. And I was like, oh, shit, it really kind of was my fault. But I was like, I don't really want to deal with my insurance for this. The other guy was fine, like, took care of him. I was like, we're not dealing with this. I don't like this car anymore anyway. Yeah. So Chris taped it on, and he ended up bolting it back on later. But yeah, it was the middle of summer. That accident happened in November, and it was the middle of summer. It's still taped on. And the duct tape's, like, melting in the sun on the hot asphalt. And I'm
You're not really redneck enough to have duct taped on bunkers.
You don't know this about me, but I am.
This is true.
You don't act redneck enough.
No.
But yeah, so that poor car, it's bolted on now. It still has a dent in the side, but it is Chris's work car now.
Chris's work car. Okay. How many cars do you guys have?
He has a Jeep Cherokee that doesn't really has something wrong with it. And then my Jeep and that car. So
yeah.
3.
What I like about Chris is he's a handy guy, can fix just about anything. When you're talking about cars or carpentry or all that. But here's the problem with handy guys. They never have time to do any of this shit. So they're basically not that much different than me who can't do anything because they never get around to it. Yeah.
I'm home a lot. He's home now during the day too, but I'm home a lot of the day and I'll be like, this broke today. And he'll get, because he's an industrial mechanic, he doesn't want to fix shit after he's fixed shit all day. Right. He's like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, well, do you want me to call somebody? You don't want me to call somebody.
The best is when you watch a YouTube video and you think you can fix it. And that's when he does have to get involved and fix shit.
This is the thing. He's one of those guys that'll like, I'll do it later. Later to me is like 5 minutes later.
Right.
His later is like 6 months or never. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just get on YouTube. And I loudly sit on the couch with the volume up, listening to tutorials. And he's like, God damn it. Just get up and do it. So I've learned that if he thinks I'm going to do it, he doesn't want me to touch it.
Well, yeah.
So I'm going to make it
get worse. His job's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So.
My sister has the opposite problem.
Yeah.
Her husband will start fixing something right away. And, so they recently moved into a new house. And she was like, oh, we can knock down this wall and do this. And, literally 2 weeks later, he was doing it. But he gets so project focused, he can't work on anything else. And so he's just like, I'm going to fix this one thing. And
I mean, I appreciate that. I like that.
I don't know. Sometimes it drives her nuts because, she's like, oh, this other thing's broken. And he's like, no, I'm on this one.
I'm a home project person. So we redid our floors 3 years ago, and the trim upstairs, like your baseboards, still not put back on. I don't know if they ever will be. So.
After 3 years, if you haven't missed it, it's gone.
It doesn't matter.
I understand. Yeah, we've been working on this bourbon room for 5 years. Still a fucking mess. It may never be done.
And
I don't know.
We're just like, you know what? Not a lot of people go up there.
There's two things hanging on the walls in there now, so there's progress.
The progress.
Yeah. I'm not good at things, and I bought this cool flag for behind the bed, but it doesn't have anything to hang it with. I don't know what to do with it now, and so it sits on the floor. It's need to get that worked on. So I don't know. That's home projects are amazing. So, well, what we'll do next? We'll go out to break, but we'll do so with a cork pop. Let's let Darren do this one. Darren, what do you think?
Okay, gotta get my tasting bar form. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, that was solid.
Good.
Very good. Congrats to the Blue Run team on a great cork pop. All right, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you a little bit about this one, then we're going to taste it live on the air. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
This is Debbie Kennard, and my altar drinking Edo is Freddie Miller. I'll drink to that.
Yep. Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. We are tasting this Blue Run.
Yes, we are. So, Darren, what do we know about this before we get on to the tasting?
It is their High Rye straight bourbon whiskey, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It is 60% corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted barley.
Okay. We know it's the first time that they've got one of these distilled by Jim Rutledge. So
Yes.
obviously he's doing plenty of distilling work for them. But this is the first of the high rye recipes that they're releasing.
They've done just rye whiskeys that he's released that are really good.
Cool blue line look. Got the butterfly on there, kind of rainbow butterfly.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's the rainbow butterfly.
Yeah, very nice. Their stuff is just classy looking, just
modern, gorgeous,
clean lines. Yeah, it's just everything about it's cool. So, all right, cheers, gang. Cheers. Here we go. Let's give this thing a taste. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Moment of truth. That's very nice. Yeah.
That's easy.
That is an easy drinker. What do we got here?
111.
111 proof. Yeah. It's nice.
On the nose, and it comes through on the palate too. It's just fruity.
It is.
A fruit salad type thing. A bunch of different fruits.
Yeah.
So this is one, if it weren't so beautiful and nice, it's a porch bourbon because it doesn't drink like it's 111. And
doesn't
it's
drink like
very,
111.
very nice.
Yeah.
What, you can't be beautiful on your porch?
You can be, but you're going to fall off your porch.
It's good for this time of the year because you do get some of the spice from the rye, which is nice, particularly as the weather, at least in St. Louis, is, as we record this in November, back and forth. There's some cold mornings and hot afternoons and stuff like that. But, very nice for sitting around. It would be great sitting around the fire and just enjoying that. And,
This is campfire whiskey.
It is. It's good.
Yeah, very, very good stuff. It's definitely a sipper.
Hangs with you.
You buy it however you buy it. You can drink it however you want, but I wouldn't suggest making it with a cocktail. It's a sipper for me.
$100 retail here.
$100 retail. So yep,
I'm in.
Yep, me too.
And I've had several other batches of the High Rye bourbons. This one is superior.
Yeah, it's almost like Jim Rutledge knows what he's doing.
Imagine that.
That guy should pick up distilling or something.
Yeah, he should do that full time. He should consider that. So maybe one day he'd get in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Oh, wait, never mind. All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures. Also 5 days a week here at the ABV shop tasting bar. Barrel shop. That was the word.
What is that going on there, McNew? Is he all right?
We have been tasting a few things. He's
Yeah,
all right. I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. That's the one you got to check out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. Check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. And check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/the ABV
All right, great job today, gang. For artists, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.